but she will definitely outlive us all.
She definitely did outlive us all.
Yeah. I bet she's in heaven right now saying, well, I bet you're going to enjoy your life. So, she's a very good, she was a very outward person. Like, okay, she set up a Catholic store, a religious store. I'm pretty sure that we're probably going to be, like, trying to get into businesses, trying to work for people, not set up something in her faith. Try not to describe her faith. Unless someone wants to do that, then go with it. But that's going to cost some more money. Just hope we have a good future. And I'm just rambling because I don't know what to say.
Good job.
Yeah, I don't think so.
You said first.
Well, my memory of my grandma was for Easter, she would always make sure we had the prettiest Easter dress and the Easter purse and panties. She always bought me whatever kind of panties I wanted. And she was the best grandma a girl could ask for. I had a granny, which was one that lived like a diva, and a grandma that was a real grandma. Mama came to everything for us. She was always there. We could always call her. I can tell y'all a memory, because I feel like I need to say this for Cassie. Cassie could call Mama at 11 o'clock at night. Mama had no idea where she was going. It was in Chat Bay one day. And Mama got a phone call. It was 11:30 at night. And what did Mama do? Had no idea. Mommy's busy. Had no idea where she was going. But she went, she found Cassie, and went get Cassie. We could call Mama and say we were hungry. Mama would take us to McDonald's. Cassie's favorite was a number 5 at McDonald's.
You should tell me that all the time.
And I can tell y'all this.
That when they changed it on the
No matter what time I called my Mama, no matter what she was doing, she would stop whatever she was doing to be the best grandma she could be. She's the one that held this family together. She was very strong-willed. And she was a wonderful, wonderful woman. And I love her very, very much. And she made us all. Without her, none of this would be possible.
Okay, Mama Junior.
Mama, I look in the mirror.
Yeah. You do. You look more like her.
I look in the mirror.
It's frightening, isn't it? Yeah, something to say about her?
She was a good woman.
Well, she's still going to be with us in some
She
form.
was stubborn. Had her way.
Well, that's where we got it from.
Was and the story was
Susie, wait.
my favorite story. One of my favorite stories is the day that I went over to bring her medicine, and I asked people where was Mom, and he said, "Oh, in her room." And I walked in, and Mom, I said, "Come back." I said, "No, she's not in there." And he said, "What?" And he got up, and then she had asked him to go to Lowe's, and he said, "Later, Mom." So she went back and said, "I'm going to go to Lowe's." He said, "Get lost." Get lost. So she goes, we started searching, and we drove down the street all the way to Lowe's, and we drove back Canal Street all the way back home, looking, asking anybody if they saw this old lady. And we went to Lowe's and asked if they saw an old lady come in. If you do, please call us and let us know. And we searched, and we went to Lily's house to see if she went there. And we went up and down, we went by church.
How long this lasted?
Probably about an hour.
About an hour searching.
That's when she was in the house in the back?
Yes.
And Lily came walking down the street, and she heard. And she looks at the house, and Mama sitting in the window.
And I knocked on the window, on the door. She says, "Oh, I heard I'm like, no, Lily," and I was mad.
And when I fussed at her, she says, "Well, people told me to get lost." We look for her.
He says, "I know, I saw y'all."
Now, Kathy, when you talk, please don't talk about how Mama wrote some of her nephews.
No.
Kathy?
Kathy, see?
I was thinking about this, I guess, I've been coming back here now for the, last 35 years or something along those lines. And she was always very welcoming, very accepting of the family. But I remember all always thought that, I mean, she's so talented
Yes.
and with so many different, different things. I mean, we have, you all talk about she never really gave anything away that she'd make it, she'd
She fell in
keep
love with
it.
everything.
But, I mean, we have, I have a couple of
Yes.
sweatshirts, that she painted for Mardi Gras. And, yeah, we got a couple of those. I have an original Sybil. An original Sybil painting. The last time, I think the last time I was here, it might have been Christmas before. Anyway, we were talking about her dolls, and she was talking about her, making some of the clothes. And she wanted to show me something specific, about a piece of clothing, I think, that she made from one of her dolls. Anyway, so she takes me in tow. She grabs my hand, she takes me in tow. We go into the bedroom, and yeah, I was like, wow, this is like, and I mean, we, wove her, and she knew exactly what she wanted to show me and exactly where it was. And she told me the whole story about it, and it was just absolutely amazing. But the dolls, the displays that we used to have over at your house, during Christmas, and I mean those were.
Sometimes she said, just put the dolls out.
Yeah, and I mean they were magnificent. Those, it was just, I loved her, and I will miss her. Great woman.
Mike, you got.
I've been trying to think of something, and I keep coming back to the same story, and it sounds so ridiculous to me to try and verbalize.
Well, apparently she wants you to say it.
Yeah, I'm thinking so. It was when I was in elementary school. One time there was a winter storm. There was an ice storm that hit Tyrrell, and for whatever reason, I had gotten up because I was getting ready to go to school, and then, Mom says, no, there was an ice storm today. You're not going to school. And then I heard on the radio that they were having school.
They were?
Yeah.
I know which storm he's talking about.
I started whining and whining and whining, and eventually Mom gave in. She got frustrated with me. She gave in. She called Sybil. Sybil drove from her house to our house, picked me up, and brought me to school that day.
Oh wow.
When I'm walking, I didn't realize how bad the damn ice storm was until I opened the front door to follow her out to the car, and it was like a half an inch to an inch of ice. Yeah, she drove through that and came and picked me up and bring me to school because that's what I wanted to do.
She was for children. She really was.
And that's when I learned that she would do anything for me.
Oh yeah.
She actually, did that with those kind of things. She loved all her brothers and sisters, well, her two sisters and one
Her
brother.
favorite thing was like a road runner, though. She was a road runner. She loved to be on the road.
Oh, really? She did. With the car.
Oh, yeah. It was like she loved to drive.
I heard
She especially loved Nanny Beast. And she loved you kids just as if she would have given y'all birth, and when Nanny Beast passed away, she just took.
Well, she was an aunt, but I guess she wanted to be a mother figure for her sister as well.
She did, and I mean, I can remember, where you going? Mom, you didn't come to my open house.
That's true.
She wouldn't go to the open house now, but she'd do things for the band. She was always doing things for the
Yeah,
band.
she did something. I mean, she didn't do everything.
I'm going to tell you one thing. I have a sick mother, and she has to have somebody take care of her, and she wears diapers. Y'all are so blessed.
What size she wears?
I don't know.
Because we have some.
But what I'm trying to say is y'all were so blessed to have her. She bathed herself. She fed herself. She took care of herself. For 94 years old.
Well, since she was over here.
Yeah.
When she was over
stayed
here.
with us, she did nothing.
Well, she
It was
bought
like,
y'all's fault.
I need some
It
water.
was Sue's fault.
Yeah.
Because Sue gave it to her. As soon as she got here, she began catering.
She loved that. Well, who wouldn't love that? Who
God, this
wouldn't love
is
that?
nice.
All the
Wish
time.
I was from
Well, I'm still saying, like I told Lily Boy
Change
that.
the channel.
Lily was griping one day about, different scenarios. And I said, Lily, y'all are so lucky. Look at your age. And look, Burl's my mama's age, and y'all lucky to have your mother at this age. And to be honest with you, almost like Hadi said, it's in a sense, she was like the tree and we was all the branches of this. And she did kind of try to keep this family. You know what I'm saying? So there's, where she had her wrong, she had some great things, and I would just say that if I lived to be 94 years old, I hope I'm able to walk and do for myself as much as she did. Because it could have been so much worse, So much worse.
I mean, she had to go to the nursing home for rehab. And we'd go and see her. I mean, it was pathetic to see some of the people. But just there, and taking her to her dog class. Because what we do is I'd pick her up and I'd take her dog class, then I'd go and do some errands or whatever in Homer, and then I'd take her up and bring her home. And she brought up the subject of her insurance. She said, I had to pay my insurance, it was $2,000 something, I just made
$1,274.37.
Oh, wow.
Every 6 months.
But they
That's funny.
It was hard.
She got the miles registered for 12 months.
I said, why don't you pay insurance? I said, you can't drive right now because of the dip. I said, why don't you just put the car on Pee-wee's name and let him cover it on his name? He's driving you around right now. I said, why waste that money? As soon as we got home, she told Pee-wee, call and cancel that check.
Oh, she had just paid?
Yeah, she had just paid.
Cool. She canceled? She was able to?
That's how.
I'm going to be rude right now.
What?
Ben, your turn.
Yeah,
to
and
come
then
back.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, we got it.
And then after that, we get to this bullshit, because I'm
Yeah,
getting
I mean,
warm.
it's 4 hours now. I'm pretty sure it's hot in here. This is my second cup. I know, you didn't wait to tell. Okay, so who's that? This is good.
The one that you opened up is the one
Wait,
that's
Susan,
open.
please wait to toast with everyone. Thank you.
Okay, Ben's turn.
Shane.
3 hours.
Well, I've only been part of the family for like 9 years. So
That's
very,
good.
very short.
That's time served,
But,
Gunny.
The first time I remember meeting my mom was at Ben's parents' house for Logan's birthday party. I think it was his first birthday.
Yep.
And I knew I was welcome into the family when she opened her arms and hugged me, when she saw me the first time.
Oh, she
And he had tattoos, and I just knew she wasn't gonna like Shane.
And she told me like this, she said,
Long sleeve.
this was after that, later on, she told me, she said,
I love this one.
she said, look, did something ever happen to you and Heidi? Heidi can go back to her daddy's house, I got a house for you.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, Goldie.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like, I feel like she is like, I didn't have that much time. We did a lot of chit-chatting. But as funny as it sounds, the first time I ever met her was Logan's age. My grandfather took me into the house of prayer to buy my first crucifix.
Oh,
And it was straight. I was a little shorter than I am now, but I had a full bit of hair. But I do remember that because back then, being a kid, a crucifix was more or less like a toy. It wasn't something that it was an idol that you were supposed to pay homage to. But that was the first time I walked in there and I met her. And then it was funny because years later, when I met Laura, I met her again. And I was like, yeah. She's like, well, who's your family? I'm like, well, Junius Bernard, Blondie. They used to call my grandmother Blondie and Duty. And she's like, I know Duty. I know Yaki too. I'm like, yeah, that's all my family. She's like, oh, and then she had nothing but great stories to tell about Duty.
If she liked you, she liked you. She
didn't.
That's right.
And then so 6 months later, I go, we see her again. It's like, who's your family? Oh, Duty. I know Duty. So, the next weekend, I see her again. She's like, who's your family? Duty. Do you know that they know Duty? So Duty was an ongoing conversation for the last, 15 years? So apparently, her and Duty grew up together, apparently. And she knew my family very, very well. And it was ironic how everybody was tied together, but we didn't know how. And, and of course the last memory was that that's what she said, I do not want to leave this earth until I get a chance to see Dylan. I'm very fortunate.
To see who?
Dylan.
Dylan.
I
It was
know,
so
I know, that's
fortunate
right.
Dylan was able to come back, not more than.
But the bad part about that was she didn't recognize him.
I know.
But she did come back during their meeting.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
So she-
And, so it was just, it was,
Yeah, that was
part
good.
of it is very accomplishable.
Caston,
Can we
you wanna say
hear from
something
your better
about
half
Mama?
now?
About TT?
You what?
Can
What
we
you
hear
wanna
from your
say
better
about
half?
Hear from the better half?
TT baby.
TT.
She's pointing at
I know.
I passed
You
away.
got your
What
cups?
do you remember about
Laura?
TT?
It's your turn to give a toast. Oh, you give the first toast.
I
Look,
said the
Paul,
first one before the video came out, yeah.
You and Irene, y'all gonna give a toast to Mama?
How you remember
Where she's
TT?
going?
Remember TT?
Well, I just remember the first time when I came and I saw her, I met her at the house. Pee Wee was there and others, and we were talking for a second. And you know how, well, I know now, I didn't know back then, she says what she thinks. So if she likes something, she says, okay, I like you, or I like this or that. No, I don't like you, or I don't like this, or whatever. So she was looking at me and she's like, I actually like you. And I'm like, that's good. I'm safe now. So that's the first
She either
memory.
liked you or she didn't. She would tell you she liked you.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So I was grateful.
All right, can I raise your glass, please?
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Paul,
Wait.
oh, my
We gotta
brother.
wait. We gotta hear from her greatest.
Did you have something to say, sir?
Her favorite grandson.
That's all I was gonna say. I'm still a favorite grandson.
Oh, you gotta say a memory.
I love it.
Paul, say a memory.
That's
Yeah.
You want me to
Oh.